kids, just say Trish. And it is Wellness Wednesday. And probably arguing kids. So I have to say I've not been feeling it. But I mean, so it's Wellness Wednesday. I am having to change up a little bit. So I've been doing the Trim Healthy Mama. I did weigh myself because it's the end of January. I did lose weight. I'm kind of surprised. So at the end of my weight loss, and I am going to tell you, I'll give you an update of what I got going on and what I'm doing. And then kind of just like when the mirror lies to you. And I want to talk about that because the mirror does lie to you and it's lying to me. So my end of the month progress. I am starting February off at 182.2. So I lost 4.3 pounds for the month. So I lost about a pound a month. And I really think like the last bit of it has been like this week. I probably lost most of that. So I haven't been losing weight like I'm used to. I am changing, and no, I still have not measured. And yeah. So one of the things I've got going on is doing the Trim Healthy Mama. I got to take a break. I have got to take a break, and I'm taking a break, and I'm doing a once a month cooking meal right now. I'm still not done with that, so as soon as I'm done with that, I can do my video on that. What I've decided to do is instead of trying to cook 2 meals, I kind of need to relieve the wellness of my brain. I need some peace in my brain. And with that, I need to kind of eliminate trying to cook outside of my normalness and go back to just making meals and making sure that everybody is fed, because that is a wellness issue. You've got to be fed. So I hope I'm not crooked. I think my thing's cooked. Anyway. I am taking a break. So I'm doing the once a month meal plans through onceamonthmeals.com. I am not even doing the diet ones. I'm just doing the traditional. So my goal is to maintain a Trim Healthy Mama lifestyle up until 6 o'clock in the evening. And at 6 o'clock, feed my family, eat what we're feeding, and just go on with it. What I will probably do is start doing some more lower fat things. Because I'm still having an issue. I don't want to go back doing Weight Watchers, but I feel like my body responds to Weight Watchers really well. So I'm still fighting that. So from now, I'm just going to take a pause. I am walking still. Bam, you ready for my miles for the month? Last week was pretty poor. Like, we ended up not getting near the walking in that we should have. So my weekend, oh, and I finished my dots. So there's the end of my month. So last week was 4, so my total, you can't really see that, was 36.5 miles for January. Bam! Yes! What had happened was we had, sorry, there's just, windows are open. We had gone and we missed a few days, so we were only able to go once last week, and it was just 4 miles that day. So yesterday we went, and I'm going to tell you, I have not been sleeping. I've been dealing with just like kind of migraines. I don't know if it's mostly menstrual, finally getting back into the cycle again. But she showed up, and I was in my jammies, and I was like, I'm up. I swear I'm up. Let's go. And that 3-mile loop where we had been getting it done in about 50 minutes was a full hour and 10 minutes. So it really slowed us down. And then we went again today. And for some genius idea, I thought, like, at the end of mile 2, we were halfway through like a quarter mile in. And I was like, let's run. Let's just do a little run. She's like, I don't run. I'm like, just do it. Let's just fatigue our bodies out and let's see what happens. I think I might have killed her. She was a little bit like, ah! And it was funny. And it wasn't funny for her. It was a little funny for me. I might be a little mean. And I'm just like, let's go. And I'm waiting for her to stop. And of course, she's like, I'm not gonna let a mom with 6 kids outdo me. I don't have that many kids. I should be more fit. And I was like, I might have killed her. She laid on the ground and cried. I did talk her into walking another half mile. So she must not hate me too bad. She probably will hate me tonight. And we'll see if she shows up in the morning. So, But I'll tell you, putting in that little bit of a run was like a total ego boost for me. Not because she was on the ground crying, but it really, just feeling the blood pump through my bodies and feeling that burning sensation in my lungs. It has been a while, and like I've been in no place to feel like I want to do it. So I'm a little bit like, I think I might be ready to do this training, you know, just to kind of get into it. And though I might not be like fully ready in the middle of March, which is in like not even 8 weeks, it's in 6 weeks, I feel like I'll still be able to complete the race and I'll still be able to do it well. So I'm going for it. So I got to figure out when to sneak out and start doing my training. And we'll just keep walking separate because I don't want her to die on me. But so I've got that going on. I'm trying to really streamline and just distress my unstress, de-stress going on. I feel a little bit, my body hurts, but I think my body hurts from getting the miles done versus anything else. Next week, I think I'm going to talk to you about mental health, because the whole hormone flux from just having my first cycle since having a baby, dealing with the postpartum anxiety, I feel like my anxiety is gone, which is huge. So if you've been like following me and my postpartum anxiety, I feel like it is gone. But I guess I also feel like this wave of postpartum depression is kind of creeping in. So I don't know if it's a hormone fluctuation and everything moving around. It's feeling better today. Doing the run, doing that little bit of run and having my lungs burn really felt so just invigorating. Don't call me a masochist. Just, I don't know. It reminds me of youthful Trish a little bit. So maybe that was my empowerment. I was like, youthful Trish is here. Just, anyway, I don't know. So what I really wanted to talk to you about, and it really hit me like this morning, is when I'm trying to diet, I'm looking in the mirror all the time for evidence. I want evidence. I'm looking on the scale. I want evidence. I want to know I'm not working so hard in vain. I want evidence. And it's really bad. So, you know, I'm trying to stay off this scale. In fact, I did the last weigh on to know what the end of the month is. And I just don't want to get on it again. I say that, but let's see what really happens. I look in the mirror. I want evidence. I'm sucking in my tummy and, you know, pulling my shoulders back and, you know, trying to measure. And it's just an impossible task. And I think the devil's in the mirror and he lies to me. And, you know, we just don't see it. And I'm a big believer of this. And my husband reminded me of it today, not by what he said, but his actions. So he didn't like, hey, remember this. But he just, you know, he gave me a hug. And I was like, my back hurts. Would you rub my back? And he's like, ooh, your body's different. He's like, you know, we always kind of have this joke, like, oh, you're like a whole new woman here, you know, in my bed. You feel so different. And I'm like, what? And he's like, oh my goodness. He's like, you're back, you know, and he's loving me with his hands. And he's just telling me, just really kind of reaffirming me, like, you feel different. You're like a whole different woman. Your body shape, you've changed. And for us, I might have to do another video on that. He's always like, oh, it's like the same, you know, same make, different model. And he's always kind of enjoyed the weird things. My husband, just a great affirmation to me, just loves it that my body is always different. Does that not sound crazy? You would never hear a man like, ooh, I really like, you know, he's just like, it's different. It's without being, you know, enjoyable to peruse because it's something new. And yet he goes, but I'm not, it's you. And it's just fun because you're just different all the time. And it's been that way with getting big, getting small, getting big, getting small with my body. I honestly have had one experience where I've stayed small for so long. He started to be like, you want to get a butt? You want to put a little weight on? You know, and then next thing I realized he was like taking me out to dinner to put a little weight on me. I was like, He's like, oh, just something different, you know. So he's kind of funny that way. He really enjoys, my body is always changing. And so maybe that was just too much information. Anyway, ladies, when you have to deal with a husband who's like, well, you're different now and you've changed, blah, 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 blah. And they haven't. You know, I have a girlfriend who's like, well, my body wasn't always like this. Well, I'm like, you had babies, you grew people. They're like, well, he's still the same. It's like, yeah, I'd be upset that your husband's serving you up the same bowl of oatmeal every day, and yet you're spicing it up with a little cinnamon or little raisins, or you serving scrambled eggs 1 month, whatever, because your body's different. And yet, good for you, 15 years of the same bowl of oatmeal. I am so sorry. And just so you know, my husband's serving up the same bowl of oatmeal. He has not changed, except for the fact that he's just gotten smaller. And I'm kind of like, I miss it when you had muscles. So, that's what I got to say about that. But what my big point is, if your husband's there in affirming you in a loving way that you are being successful, then stop looking in the mirror for it. Listen to your husband and enjoy the affirmation that he sees, instead of being so critical on yourself. And this is just a huge one. And don't look for your affirmation in the mirror. Look for your affirmation in godly eyes of your husband. I say that because there are husbands out there that are not in the right place and do not fill you up with encouragement and affirmation. I know, I've not saying names, I've lived around that before, and I've watched what it does to the spouse. So if your husband is not that man, don't listen to him. But if your husband is a man who can affirm you with what he sees, and it's not like a token like, oh, well, what about, you know, do you want me to tell you how good you look? Then you know, none of that crazy, awful, non-genuine love stuff. And hopefully I'm not stepping on toes. I don't mean to say that I'm stepping on toes. I just don't want to give encouragement that you should go and look for affirmation from a man who's not going to give it. And I hope that you are blessed with a man who gives it. Because I will tell you, not to turn this into a whole segment on it, but coming from a very low self-esteem with the appearance of my body, to marry a man who spent hours in the gym, and where I should continue to feel very inferior with my blessings here. God has gifted me with a man who rebuilt me in my esteem and affirmation. And what has been the biggest blessing is he enjoys me for however size I come and how I am. To the point he might have inflated my head a little bit, because, you know, he's like, so sometimes I said, oh, you passed away, I got all this, you know, I got no problems. No, I don't hope that at all. But he has given me a sense of a sense of self-esteem, and it comes from the fact that he enjoys me for who I am. So whatever package I'm wrapping up that month, that day, that end of my diet, that before end, it doesn't matter. He likes it. I got 6 kids to show it. And I think that's important. I think that's important no matter what. And you don't have to be a size to be sexy. Sexy is a state of mind. Beautiful is a condition of the heart. Pretty is the way you do your makeup. Don't get caught up in a Barbie mold of expectations. And so that's kind of like where I want to come at. So even though I'm trying to lose weight, I want to lose weight because it is a lot of work and energy to lift fat legs. It's a lot of laundry you got to do when your clothes are twice the size they could be. I want to lose weight so my clothes stay where they stay at. But most of all, I want to be healthy. And if I had to pick between being healthy and fit enough to run a marathon or run a 5K at a really respectable pace, and I did it at 180 pounds, which I don't think I would because of my knees. I would be very terrified of blowing out my knees. But if I had to pick between, I can be 140 pounds, because for me 140 pounds is incredibly amazing. That's small for me. or be 40 pounds heavier and be able to physically have stamina endurance, I would pick the stamina endurance, and I don't care what size my waist is. I just tend to measure my waist as the defining factor of how am I physically fit? How am I taking care of myself? And that's what comes down to it. And next week I'm going to talk to you about kind of the mental health aspect of that. Like, if you wear your body out and you don't take care of it, forget the way you look. Don't even expect to be in the right frame of mind. So that's kind of to come on things. But I'm trying to maintain vibrance as I carefully try not to kill my friend, my poor dear bestie, who like is my constant encouragement. So I can't kill somebody I'm thankful for, but I swear I'm doing it for her benefit. And I'm not showing off that this mom of 6 kids can run a little faster and longer. I never do that. Well, maybe a little bit. Better not do it again though. So I'm kind of excited, like having that run, burning my lungs. I am going to start training, and I'll probably pump my miles up even more a month. And as for food, I'm going to practice making good decisions and get my house in order. So you know I'm kind of doing that. So 16 minutes of jabberjaw. Peace out.